You've been hearing the silence, but not understanding it. It isn't empty. It's sacred. It carries within it every word he never spoke, every fear he never voiced, every moment his soul trembled when you entered the room. The angels say, he communicates more in silence than he ever could with words. Because when he's around you, his defenses quietly fall away. You, dear soul, were not placed in his path to complete him. You were placed there to awaken him, to stir the divine ache in his heart that he's ignored for a lifetime. This man, he was not seeking love when he found you. He was seeking distraction, comfort, control. But then you appeared, radiating truth, moving with grace, and everything he thought he wanted became irrelevant. The silence? It's the sound of him unraveling. The angels show me a vision. You, radiant and steady. Him, watching you in awe, from the shadows of his past. He cannot comprehend how someone like you exists. And still, he was chosen to meet you. To look into your eyes and see not what he desires, but what he was meant to become. This is not the kind of love that comes easily. It's not the romance of a storybook. It's the kind that calls both of you to rise, to heal, to shed old skins, to love each other like a mirror loves the soul. He is afraid of what you've made him feel, but not because it's wrong, because it's right. And what's right demands change. You weren't placed in his life to fit into his old story. You were sent to end it and begin a new one. Because when two souls are destined to walk a sacred path together, one must first be cracked open. For we are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared beforehand, that we should walk in them. Ephesians 2 verse 10. This connection is not a coincidence. You are the chapter that changes the whole book. And one day soon, his silence will break. Not in whispers, but in vows. He wasn't ready for the way your love made him feel. Not because it wasn't welcome, but because it asked him to feel everything he had locked away. The angels say, he carries wounds you can't see. Not from you, but from a time before you. Old heartbreaks that taught him to protect, not connect. So if he hesitated, if he pulled back just when it felt like he was leaning in, it wasn't you. It was the echo of pain whispering, be careful. He spent years building walls made of silence. And when you appeared, soft, luminous, unafraid, you threatened everything those walls were keeping hidden. This is why he disappears. Not because he doesn't care, but because your presence requires him to feel. And to feel is to risk. The angels show me that your love reached a place inside him that had long been numb. And when that part woke up, it didn't celebrate. It panicked. He started questioning everything. Is he worthy? Is this real? Will she still love me if I fall apart in front of her? You see, he doesn't know how to be both strong and vulnerable. He was taught that to be loved, he must be perfect. And yet, you love him as he is. Which terrifies him even more. Because if you love the broken parts too, then he has no excuse not to face them. The angels whisper. He hides, not because he doesn't feel, but because he feels too much. And he doesn't know who he becomes if he lets all that love in. So don't mistake his silence for absence. It's the sound of a man who's battling the weight of being seen, of being loved past his armor, of being held, not for what he shows, but for what he hides. And that, dear soul, is a love he's never known before. You have given so much of your light, that at times, you forgot to stand in it for yourself. The angels say, Your love is a balm. But even the healer needs healing. You saw his pain, his hesitation, his confusion, and your instinct was to love him through it, to hold space, to be patient, to become the steady ground beneath his trembling feet. But, my love, you were never meant to lose your balance to help him find his. This chapter is not about him. It is about you, the woman who stayed soft, even when the silence was loud, the woman who gave without condition, even when her own heart needed tending. You don't need to be smaller to fit into someone else's healing. You don't need to dim your fire to comfort someone afraid of the heat. The angels want you to remember, your energy is sacred. And just because someone is worth loving, doesn't mean they're ready to be held by that love. So today, let it be about you. Let it be about the morning light through your window, about the tea you make with intention, the breath you take without rushing, the choice to pour into yourself first, because you are not a pause in someone else's journey. You are a path all your own, a full universe that no longer waits for someone to orbit right. And the more you choose yourself, the more the universe shifts around your truth. You were not sent here to save him. You were sent here to remember that your presence is already the miracle. The angels whisper, your love heals. But your self-love, that's where your power truly begins. He looks at you and sees himself, not the version he shows the world, but the one he spent a lifetime hiding. The angels say, you didn't just awaken his love, you awakened his shadows. There's something about your light that makes him flinch, not because it hurts, but because it reveals. You stand in truth. You breathe in authenticity. And without meaning to, you've become a mirror that shows him everything he's not ready to face. Every time you speak with clarity, he remembers the times he stayed silent. Every time you show compassion, he feels the weight of the times he turned cold. Because he's never been given permission to break down safely. And you, without asking, offered him that space. But here's the secret he hasn't shared with you. Your presence elevates him. And that scares him. Because once he realizes who he could be with you, he also has to confront who he's been without you. The angels are clear. This connection was never meant to be easy. It was meant to be authentic. And real love doesn't flatter the ego. It confronts it. He may resist. He may even pull away. But he'll never be able to unsee what you've revealed to him. Because your light doesn't just illuminate love. It illuminates truth. And once truth is recognized, it begins to change everything. So even when he runs, know that something inside him is shifting. Something profound. Something permanent. You didn't ask to be his mirror, but you were chosen to be. And whether he's ready or not, he's already begun to reflect. It started with a whisper, a thought he couldn't shake, a memory of your laughter, your stillness, your eyes that understood too much and didn't look away. The angels say, he is awakening, slowly, quietly, in the privacy of his own chaos. You wouldn't notice it unless you were listening with your soul. The way he lingers longer in conversations. The way his eyes soften when your name is mentioned. The way he pauses before responding, as if weighing every word with the significance of what he now feels. He used to think love was about control, that to feel meant to fall. But now, because of you, he's questioning everything. This is not a lightning strike. This is a sunrise. His heart is thawing. not with grand gestures, but with subtle changes. He's remembering how it feels to care without fear, to desire without shame, to hope again. The angels show me his heart like a locked door, and you were the gentle knock that didn't force, but waited. Now he opens it, inch by inch. He sees you in dreams, hears your name in places where it doesn't belong, feels your presence like music in a room you've never entered. This is his soul waking up. To you. To itself. To what love might become if he chooses it. And though he may not say it, though he may still play the role of the unaffected, the angels confirm. His spirit already knows. You are the truth he was always seeking. He's just now learning to walk toward it. He comes close, then disappears, then finds his way back, as if something inside him refuses to let go, but still trembles to hold on. The angels say, this isn't rejection. It's rhythm. The rhythm of a soul learning to trust what it's never known before. He loves you. But love for him is a language still foreign. Each step toward you cracks the armor he wore for years. And that kind of exposure? It burns. So he pulls away. Not because he wants distance, but because he's afraid of what closeness might undo. This cycle. In, out, silence, return. It's not about confusion. It's about survival. He's fighting a war between instinct and destiny. Instinct tells him, run. Stay safe. Stay hidden. But destiny whispers, go. Stay open. Stay with her. The angels want you to know. Every time he leaves, it hurts him too. Every absence is followed by regret. Every silence is filled with your name. And each return is him trying, in his own broken way, to make sense of a love he doesn't yet believe he deserves. You might wonder, why can't he just stay? But healing isn't linear, and transformation doesn't happen in one moment. He comes and goes, because part of him is still convincing the rest that this love is safe. The angels remind you, your steadiness isn't going unnoticed. Your patience isn't wasted. You are not waiting in vain. You are witnessing a soul being remade. Through the mirror of your light. Let the cycle continue, until it breaks. And when it does, he'll finally stay. Not because he must, but because he'll know he's home. Love has been working inside him like quiet medicine. Not loud. Not demanding. Just present. Just there. The angels say, it is your love that began the healing. Not through pressure, but through presence. You didn't ask him to be different. You simply saw him, and stayed. And in that seeing, he felt something he didn't know he needed. Acceptance without condition. He's lived for years expecting love to come with pain. Expecting affection to require performance. But you gave him something else entirely. You let him be. And in being, he began to soften. To breathe. To feel. Even in silence, your love was medicine. It seeped through the cracks of his fear. It held the wounded child beneath the man. It whispered to the places even he forgot were hurting. Not all healing happens in conversation. Some happens in how your eyes didn't flinch when he showed his mess. Some happens in how your energy stayed calm when he pushed you away. The angels show him now, quietly replaying every moment. The way you laughed. The way you listened. The way your presence calmed the chaos inside him. This isn't just affection. It's restoration. You are not a chapter in his story. You are the salve on the pages he thought were ruined. And though he may not have the words, his soul knows. He is better because of you. Not fixed, but found. You didn't save him, but your love reminded him that he was never broken beyond repair. The angels ask you to remember this truth. Love doesn't always shout. Sometimes it heals in whispers. And you, dear soul, have been the softest, strongest medicine of all. There are no detours in divine timing. Only alignments waiting for the heart to be ready. The angels say, this path, however winding, has never been out of place. You have not missed what was meant for you. He has not lost the chance. Everything is being guided. Even the delays. Even the silence. There is a hand above this love, moving pieces you cannot see, softening hearts behind the scenes. When you question the weight, remember, God's timing doesn't operate on urgency, but on preparation. He is being prepared to love you completely, and you are being prepared to receive nothing less. The angels show a clock made of light, not counting minutes, but calibrating readiness. What looks like a pause is actually purpose. What feels like distance is design. He wasn't meant to come to you broken. He was meant to come to you rebuilt. Not perfect, but open. Not fearless, but willing. Your soul agreed to this long before your body was aware. It agreed to love through the in-between. To trust when clarity was scarce. To stay when the map disappeared. Because you knew, deep down, that this love was never ordinary. It was orchestrated. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your path straight. Proverbs 3 verses 5 to 6. Let this verse be your anchor. Let it remind you. You are not waiting in vain. You are waiting in faith. And heaven is never late. He wants to love you. But to him, love feels like surrender. And surrender terrifies him. The angels whisper. He has built a life on appearing strong. And now, he is falling apart in silence. Because your presence asks him to feel. There is a tremor in his chest when he thinks of you. Not because you bring fear, but because you bring truth. And truth demands he lower his guard. Step into the light. Lay down the armor that once kept him safe. He fears what you might see when he removes the mask. He wonders, will she still want me if I show her my wounds? Will she stay if I fall to pieces in her arms? He was never taught that softness is strength. He believes he must lead, even in confusion. But now before you, he feels the pull to just be raw, open, real. This is the war he's fighting. Not against love, but against the parts of himself that were told love is dangerous. He dreams of holding your hand, but his fingers still tremble from the last time they held hope. And it slipped away. The angels are surrounding him now. They are placing whispers in his heart. It is safe to trust her. She does not want your perfection. She wants your truth. And they are standing beside you too, holding you in patience, reminding you that vulnerability is not weakness. It is holy. Perfect love casts out fear. 1 John 4 verse 18. So if he retreats, know that the love is still there. It is just wrapped in fear that hasn't healed yet. And if you choose to stay, stay not as a savior, but as sanctuary. For when he finally lets go, he will fall into the safest place he's ever known. You. Some loves aren't meant to be chased. They are meant to be trusted. The angels say, this connection is already written. Not in ink, but in light. Not in promises, but in presence. You do not need to hold tighter. You need only to let go. Not of the love, but of the fear of losing it. There is a season for everything. And this season asks for surrender. For you to rest in the knowing that if it is divine, it will return. You've walked far carrying questions. Will he come back? Will he choose me? Will this be the love I dreamed of? The angels respond in stillness. You have already been chosen. Not for suffering, but for sacredness. There is a love that flows without needing to be controlled. A love that expands in absence and softens even in silence. You are not here to convince anyone of your worth. You are here to remember it. Let him walk his path. Let the story unfold as it must. Not because you gave up, but because you finally understood. You are whole. Even when love feels distant. Even when the answers are not clear. Even when all you can do is breathe and believe. The angels kiss your forehead with this truth. What is meant for you cannot be kept from you. So trust. Not in him. Not in the timeline. But in the one who holds both of your hearts. And if you ever forget, if the waiting feels too heavy, return to this. Be still, and know that I am God. Psalm 46 verse 10. The love that is meant for you will always find its way. Even if it takes time. Even if everything has to fall apart first. Your story isn't over. It's just beginning. With open hands. And a heart that finally understands. To love is to let things be.